Hello everybody, it is me Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the podcast, the Unnamed Podcast, the time of the week where I sit here with this and talk about the week, the rubbish and whatever else comes to my mind, usually my mind. That's how we do. Guys, let's get things started the way we often do with a little bit of channel news. And while Kris takes care of that, I'm going to wet my whistle because...
Fair enough. So, on Monday this week was Dave the Diver. Is this the first time that you've done it by yourself?
No, this is the second time.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, we started playing Dave the Diver together, but honestly, I've heard a lot of really good things about Dave the Diver
Recently. Yeah. Okay.
and it's unfortunately it's one of those games where it's like you have a save,
It's true, yes.
singular,
Yeah.
so you can't have multiple saves. So I was like, you know what, I am going to just make this a series that I can play by myself, or I can play with Kris. But either way,
It's fair.
I want to play a little bit more of it, and the only way to do that without completely fucking up everything is to just film what I'm doing.
Yeah, fair. Makes sense.
So in this week's, I finally actually hunt down a shark, because that's what I've been literally supposed to do since me and Kris last played it almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
Except-
okay, Jesus. Yeah.
Because I am a sane and rational individual, I don't want to go hunting down sharks, because that's never smart.
Sane and rational?
Sane and rational. But guys, yeah, so Dave the Diver, we go hunting a shark. Let me tell you, I saw that shark and I went, tiger shark. No, it was a white-tip reef shark.
Okay.
Now, as an actual human who lives near a beach,
Yeah.
I have been in the water with white-tip reef sharks.
Yes.
They're not small,
No.
but they're also not big.
Yeah.
They're medium. They're like the Labrador of sharks.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know, they're pretty chill. I suppose that probably would change if you started shooting them with a harpoon gun, but I saw
mean,
this shark.
It's either that they're going to attack you or they're going to swim away. It's one of the two.
Yeah, so I saw this shark in the game, and it's like almost twice the size of Dave, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's a tiger shark. And then it was like,
Makes sense.
no, that's a white tip reef shark, and I was like, oh crap.
Look at that photo of Dave, though. How is the shark twice the size?
Right.
And it's just a reef shark.
It was pretty big, and so I was like going into being like, oh, I just took down a tiger shark, and then I was like, no, you took down a white tip reef shark, and I was like, oh.
How big is the tiger shark going to be?
I was like, that does.
Are they
not-
going to be like 5 times Dave's size?
Well,
Like, that's
I have a feeling, because you know how people tend to exaggerate things. Like everyone's like, the megalodon was blah 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 blah, and it's like, no, the megalodon was probably about the size of a humpback whale. Not like it wasn't going up and being like, I can eat boats. It was like, I'm a big shark, but I'm a big shark.
Oh yeah.
Not like, yes, I yes, I could absolutely, and it's sort of like that. It's people don't really understand the size of animals.
No.
They kind of, land animals everyone thinks are smaller than they are. Like, people will be like
Like
yeah, but lions and tigers, they're not really that big. And it's like, you ever seen a fucking lion and tiger? Those bitches stand up and you're like, oh, you're bigger than me. Oh dear.
Well, I can kind of understand like people with a moose as an example. They're massive.
Bears. People don't.
No, they're fucking huge.
I've never seen a bear, but like I kind of have, like, from like seeing videos of bears and stuff, have an idea of how big they are. And it's like the one thing that like nearly everyone says when you see a bear in real life for the first time, and not like from a distance being like, yeah, that's a bear. It's within your range of view. You're like, oh shit, that'd be big.
No, they're not small.
But yeah, so like, but then with sea animals, everyone's like, oh no, they're way bigger than they are. It's like, yes, great white sharks are large.
Yes.
But it's also like, yeah, they're not that large. They're not like, bom, 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 bom. Oh my god, this is the size of 3 school buses. No.
Well, then it's not the size of Jaws.
No,
No, it's not.
no, it's a big fish, okay?
Yes.
But like, yeah, so like, there's all these, like, the movie The Meg is like, I blame that and Jaws for a lot of people thinking that
100%.
sharks just get bigger than what they actually do.
Yeah.
And then I kind of feel like the people that made Dave the Diver were like, well, sharks are big, man. And it's like, well, yeah, but
yeah, okay.
either Dave is incredibly short because like I think the stats they give on the reef shark are like it can grow up to 1.2 meters, and I'm like, yeah. So how short is fucking Dave that this thing is like almost twice his size?
Yeah, is he like 600?
Is he knee high to a grasshopper?
I think so.
But anyway, the point is that I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, these sea creatures are much, much larger than they are. And it's like, no, they're not.
Not really.
But also, yeah, I guess in a way, largeness kind of infers danger. And yes, they are fucking dangerous. But also, at the same time, it's you know, as I said the other week about swimming with sharks, as long as you keep your eyes on them and you know they're around, you're generally pretty fine. And just don't be a drunken idiot who's like, I found a wobbegong! Because that's how bad things happen.
Shit.
Literally, that happened when I was swimming with the reef sharks. A boat of drunkards rocked up, and they're like, there's a wobbegong down there! And they were all diving down and like, we're gonna go touch it! I'm like, that's how people drown.
Yeah.
Because wobbegongs grab on and then they don't let go, and you go, uh-oh.
This is I think my hand's gonna come off, or I'm dead. They're your options.
99% of wobbegongs do not bite people to death. They just drown them because they're hardcore like that. But no, Dave the Diver, I love it. It's a great game. It's very fun. I just feel like the developers missed probably 2 beats on it.
Okay.
One, they have, like, a lot of the music is sort of, like, Japanese inspired because, obviously, sushi. And I like that for, like, the background music when you're in the sushi place.
Yes.
When it's going into those cutscenes, the fucking 80s, 80s movie inspired cutscenes where everything is overblown and everything, I wish it had kind of like that 80s movie techno kind of crazy music going as well. So it was like a little bit more just like bombastic.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think they missed is it's just the fact that it's, you know, I feel like there's so much going on in that game and they explain some of it.
That's what I was gonna say.
No,
that's what I was getting last time I was here while playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like literally like a whole thing where it's like, oh, you found this treasure, you can sell it in Cobra's store, and it's like, cool. How? And then you like walk up to Cobra and you're like, hey, and he's just like, sup? And you're like, do you have a store? Sup? And you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll ring him. And you give him a phone call and he's like, don't call me, we're on the same fucking boat. You can just come over and talk to me. And you're like, okay, Cobra, I just want to sell things in your store. I've got like 30 silver bowls here. How do I get money for them?
It'd be hilarious if it's something more simple than you're thinking of.
It probably is. Like, there's just a few bits and pieces where...
Were we trying to figure out it last time I was there?
I don't think so. I don't think we ever had enough of it to actually worry. We were definitely trying to figure out the gun store.
Yeah.
But...
Did we figure that out?
We did, eventually. But there's just a few bits and pieces that I'm just like, oh. Like, one thing happened in this video where it played a cutscene in the middle of a time challenge.
Oh, get fucked.
And I'm pretty sure it paused the timer.
Okay, good, yeah.
Even so, it still put me off. Like, I was still then like, oh shit, now this cutscene's over and I gotta get back in to do it. I didn't like that.
You lose your momentum.
Then there was another thing where it was like, literally told me I unlocked staff. It was like, you've unlocked staff. And I was like, cool. But then I had to do a story thing to unlock staff. So I was like, what the hell?
Okay.
I thought I spent a good amount of time trying to figure out how to hire staff to make my life easier. And then it was just like, oh no, you've actually got to do this story thing. I'm like, then why did you tell me that I'd unlock staff? And it was like, oh, because we would have thought that by the time you reach this, you would have done this. I'm like, no, because reaching this is incredibly easy. Whereas reaching that, you've got to be prepared for it. That's got to be your goal.
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit, there's little things like that, which I'm like, I get it, you know, sometimes you're going to have issues like that, but yeah, it was just one of those, you know, it would have been really easy to solve both of those problems.
Yeah.
One, play the cutscene after the time mission. So, like, you're serving the sushi. Right, you've done this part. So, after the tonight, you're going to get a cutscene.
Yeah.
Instead of the second it's done, you're getting a cutscene. Because it's like, what the hell? I've got 7 things on the go here.
True.
The other one is to level up to where I was, where it told me that I now had access to staff, have that story thing be one of the prerequisites to unlock that level up.
Okay.
So you know how in many games it's like, you haven't done this, so yes, you haven't reached most of the things to level up, but you still haven't done this, so you can't level up just yet.
Yeah.
Doing that would have made a lot of sense, and having, you know, the story person that when you unlock them goes, I'm the person that hires people for you. Having them as a prerequisite to this thing, like having unlocked them as a prerequisite to this level up that I did, would be smart. Is all I'm saying. But you know, I like it. It's a fun game. It's just as with everything, they did miss a few things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like there's so much in it that it gives me like old school, like 80s, that era where they were like computers, you know, and they'd always have like lasers going off and the music going, and you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It has so much of that kind of visuals, and then it kind of puts this like slow kind of Japanese inspired kind of like behind it, and you're just like, the music does not meet the bombasticness of what's going on. Like, we got a guy who's like literally using these fingers to explode things, and you've got like as the music notes, and you're like, what?
I seems right.
There's like a point where he's like he gets his like sushi knife, and he's like leaving like the classic anime vroom cuts, and then it goes outside the sushi thing, and you just see like all these flashes of lights, and it's just playing this like calming kind of melodic tone, and I'm just like, yeah, it's good music, but it doesn't match with what's going on.
No, not with those effects.
And
it would match it properly if they didn't add the effects.
Yeah, it's like they go super bombastic with like every cutscene that you get is super bombastic, and you're like, wow, the music for this must just be going ham. It'd be like, and it's like, no, it's just like, you're like, okay, that kind of kills a bit of the vibe.
Just a tad.
But yeah, other than that, I really do. I think it's a really good game, and I really, for the price of it, guys, I think it's definitely, it won, I think it won Best Indie Game at the Game Awards the year it came out. So
I think so. Pretty sure.
If you haven't given it a try, give it a try. It's fantastic. It was definitely up nominated for it. But yeah, that was Dave the Diver, and that was what came out Monday. So, there will definitely be more Dave the Diver because I am enjoying it.
They won multiple game awards.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's a fantastic game. It's got a lot of there's a lot of good things about it, and even though I focused on negative things, that's because honestly, in the last every time I talk about it, I talk about all the positives.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true.
And the shark thing, that's not really their fault. That's entertainment as a whole. They're always trying to make sharks bigger.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do it in movies, so you kind of got...
People do it in real life. They get a fish this big, and by the next day, they're telling you that they caught something that was this big.
Yeah, true.
You caught a perch that big, and they're like, yeah, it was massive. And you're like, was it, or were you drunk?
Probably drunk, honestly, especially around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was Monday.
Yeah, indeed. So, Wednesday this week was Hitman.
It was.
Did you fuck up 3 times?
Okay, I actually had to film that twice. So
There's the first fuck up.
yes.
Okay.
But basically, you know how planning is such a big thing in the Hitman games?
I'm aware that you do it and I don't, yes.
I planned poorly because I kind of forget what the missions are sometimes. So I took in a lockpick into a map that is entirely key carded. And so I could not get into any rooms, which sucks because I know there's a master key card in this map. And I'm like, I know exactly where it is. To get into that room, I needed a key card. And I was like... And so after probably doing about 40 minutes worth of things, I was like, I just have to restart. So I just scrapped everything and restarted.
You dumbass.
Well,
I mean, that's definitely something I would have done.
So
It's
yeah, well,
I don't go in planning anything with those.
So basically in this one, I pretty much I did 3 assassinations. So there's 2 in the main story, and then I did an extra one because it was funny,
Of course.
and I still had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was I'm sitting there, and I go and kill the first guy. The first guy's super easy to kill. Go and get I say super easy. I accidentally got seen knocking a dude out, so as I was changing into his clothes, like 10 people busted in, and I was just like, okay, everything should be fine. They turn around and see the naked guy and see like me standing there, and they're like, this is cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like, no issue here, off you go, enjoy your day. And I'm like, thank you.
And I consider that a fuck up.
So anyway, then I go and do everything, and let me say, in this episode of Hitman, I disguise myself as a drummer, and like part of it is you've got to play the drums so that you get this guy the person you're trying to kill will go and have a secret conversation with you on a roof, and then haphazardly lean against the railing in a situation where you can just kind of him over the edge. And I like that. That's a really fun kind of thing. The only thing that I was like, you missed a beat here, is that they should have had a rhythm action game, like mini game when you play the drums.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, if you don't perform well enough, you miss that option.
Honestly, I thought that's the way it was going to go. You didn't even have to say it. I'm just like, you're going to play the drums. You know how that's going to go.
And like, to kind of like make matters worse is so that's actually usually the way I kill this guy. I dress up as the drummer, play the drums, eat him off a roof.
Yes,
it's great.
Of course.
Especially after the whole thing is like, anyway, I'll see you when we get back to New York. And you're like, yes. And then he turns, and then you're just like, boom, and you're like, you're going back to New York, son. Fuck you. And then he falls into the pretty much the entryway of the hotel.
Okay.
And then so the second guy, like I was like, usually I just kill him with a little bit of poison, or depending on the day, I might just walk out and shoot him because I can.
Of course.
But today I was like, oh, I found a new thing, and I'm going to try this. I've never done this one before. So I did. And basically what you do is you dress up as hotel staff, right? And his room was messed up the night before. And so it's being cleaned, and you take him up there. Now, to start off, right, something weird happened in it, and I'm like walking up, and I start talking to him, and then he just kind of stops, and then I have to restart the conversation. And then he had to go at me like, oh, did you bring a map this time? And I was like, okay, for that, your death is going to be messy. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You and your programming is what fucked up. I did everything perfectly. Anyway, so we go up to his thing, and it kind of made me even angrier that there wasn't a drumming mini game, because as you're walking through this thing, he's like, there's a mess there, and you have to go up and interact with it, and like, there's a stain on the floor, so you walk up to the mop and you mop the floor, and then it disappears, and he goes, okay, now let's move on, and you end up cleaning like a few messes around the place that are still left there. Like, you got to pick up some rubbish, and I'm like, I'm doing this, and you didn't even have like a press X to nail the drum solo. That's what I got, and I was like, you've gone to the extra effort here to have me cleaning, but you didn't go to the extra effort to be like, let's just have a little bit of a rhythm game here.
I mean, yeah, 100%.
Anyway, so then, yeah, we get to the bathroom, and I drowned him in a toilet because, he insulted me and my directional skills. To be fair, I was very lost most of the time in this map, and I had no idea where I was going, but you're not allowed to point that out.
I would have.
So, you would have been drowned in a toilet too.
No, because I'm not in the game.
So I drowned him in a toilet, and then I dragged him to a window, and then threw him out the window.
He killed himself. Why was his lungs full of water?
No. Well, technically speaking, after he hit the ground, they probably don't know what his lungs were full of, because they were probably spooshed.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that.
But I was just like,
How
Jesus.
high up was it?
Probably like 4 stories.
Yeah, it would have been smooshed. Yeah.
Especially considering that he had no, instinct to save himself at all.
Well, he was dead.
Exactly. But yeah, so I was like, oh man, can you imagine working in this hotel and then the two people in the penthouses both jumped off the building at the same day? Jeez, that's crazy.
So weird.
Crazy. No. And then I just had to delete the cameras, but of course I did make a mistake there and walked into an area whilst everyone was kind of on alert because a dude had just fallen out a window. Kind of walked into an area I wasn't allowed to go, and that made everyone angry at me. Then walked into another area where I was technically allowed to be because I was wearing the right disguise, but there were also people that like kind of know that you're not one of them.
Yeah.
And so I just had to go ham with a fucking crowbar. And then everything was going great, I'm like, okay, everyone's knocked out.
Yeah.
I've hidden some guys in a cupboard. I'm in a security room. Only security's allowed in here.
Mm-hmm.
No. Fucking waits. No, room service staff, like cleaners. She just walks in and she's like, okay. Unconscious naked people. Like, she literally says, naked and unconscious. I'm like, well, now I gotta knock you out.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And yeah, so I got out of that with 2 stars.
That sounds about right, but I would like to say I was right. There was at least 3 fuck-ups.
It was not my finest thing.
No.
But then I did an elusive target there. Now, elusive targets, you can't see the target. Like, how normally you go in Hitman View, they're red.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So I go to do this target. It's a food guy.
Mm-hmm.
Really funny thing happened where he's got this really like pompous way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, I walk up to him and make him uncomfortable. It's like, hey, dude, can you just... And he, like, completely changes his accent and becomes, like, a completely different... It's like, hey, dude, can you just, like, back away from me for a second? You're a little bit close. This whole thing of just being like, now, let me tell you, I am a food critic, and I don't like this, blah. And now he's just like, yo, dude, can you just, like, back up? I'm like, are you faking? Are you a liar? But I was like, oh, I'll poison his food. That's smart.
Yeah.
No option to poison his food. And I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do here?
Mm-hmm.
So I did the logical thing.
Mm-hmm.
I walked across the lobby to the other side where I could see him, the window that he was at from the window I was at. Pulled out my pistol because I didn't bring anything bigger. Couldn't see him because obviously I was just kind of staring across a whole gap and through several windows. And I was like, I can't see him. So I shot his bodyguard in the butt.
Okay.
That, like, alerted his bodyguard, and his bodyguard was like, whoa, hold on, something's not right here.
Of course.
Put my gun away. Everyone's running to where I shot him from. I'm just, like, walking back being like, hey, what's going on, guys? How's everything going? They're like, fucking great.
Yeah.
Walk up to where he is, and then just stabbed him with a lethal syringe. Because his bodyguard was like, I've been shot in the butt, I gotta find out what's going on. He's run off, left him by himself. I'm just like, hey, dude. And then I left.
Nice.
And no one was any the wiser. I'm like, dude just died of natural causes.
Yeah, supernatural causes.
He was terrified. I was like, oh no, someone shot my bodyguard in the butt. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good to get back to Hitman, especially with the guys who made that game's new game coming out this year. I was like, oh yeah.
Let's get which game is that in?
That's the James Bond one, First Light.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But I was like, with that game coming out, and I'm like, if they make it anything like the Hitman games, it will be good.
Yeah.
Will it be a good James Bond game? I don't know. Because I think James Bond is a character that's very, very hard to do in the modern world. Because he's a little bit of... Well, he's a womanizer. He has a lot of very bad vices.
Yes.
He's a gambler, an alcoholic, a smoker, all that kind of stuff.
No.
But that's like the era that he was made in. And that's kind of his whole thing. Like, you couldn't make a James Bond who was made, like... If they ever said Pedro Pascal is going to play James Bond, you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work. Because James Bond does need to be all of those things.
Well, yes.
Like, if he's not, it's like, well, it's not James Bond, is it? So, you know, with the way modern video games are and the way that James Bond is, it's like, will it be a good James Bond game? I don't know. But does that mean that it won't be a good game? Not necessarily.
True.
So, it's like, hey, let's forget it's James Bond and just say it's a spy game. It could be a very good spy game. It's sort of like how Rogue One is a very good movie, but is it a good Star Wars movie?
Fair.
Only that little bit at the end makes it a good Star Wars movie.
True.
But otherwise, it's just a very good science fiction movie, but an average Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, this could be a very good spy game, but a very average James Bond game. Because you're not holding to that character, but the game is fun and the spying is good and all that.
The next thing is how far are they going to drag out James Bond?
I could see it at episode, like if you think about the episodal way they've done Hitman, where it's like you go into, it's like, here is just a big open world. Here is your goal.
Yeah.
Achieve it how you want. So you could play it like the full spy, or you could play it like the
I'm just gonna check something out.
Anyway,
keep talking.
The point is you can play it like you can kind of go into it any way you want, and I think that's the strength of the way that they make those games, especially Hitman and games like a spy game.
See,
what are the spy games that exist like in reality? Because everyone's gonna think straight away spy versus spy, but that's not a spy game.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. Though.
It's a fun game, but it's not a spy game because you're just killing each other. It's a deathmatch.
Okay, so the next thing is how far can you really drag out James Bond if they've given him at least a rough birthday of 1920?
Oh,
that's what I mean. It's like,
well, see, I think that's actually a better thing. Like, so don't get me wrong. Like, first of all, James Bond,
yeah,
right? In Hollywood,
yeah,
they've dragged him out through about 20 different characters.
There's
been a lot of different actors.
and like, don't get me wrong, they have put him into the somewhat modern era, and it's like, well, theoretically, by that,
yes,
he should have been at least 80 in the last films.
And that would have been a very bold choice to go with. And
yes, it would have.
I would have liked to see it. But no, I think the reality is that, like, spy games kind of get worse and worse the more modern we put them.
Oh, yeah, of course they do.
Because there's kind of like a golden era in, like, the 70s, 80s era, where you've got some new technology burgeoning. So it's like, hey, you're going to have this and this. And it's like, oh, this is a little bit far-fetched for the time, but you could understand why you might have this. Whereas, like, now it's like, okay, we've got you a camera that's in a pen. And you're like, or I could just use a cell phone, because no one's going to question the person walking around with a cell phone, and it has a camera in it.
Yeah.
Because it's a cell phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the gadgets and stuff that make being James Bond cool kind of becomes superfluous in the modern age, because it's like,
yeah,
okay, so here's your cell phone. It's this big. It has all of these things built into it. So I don't need a laser watch. No, we put that in the cell phone because, again, it's got all this space in it,
and nobody's
going to question you walking around with. Someone's going to pull this out and be like, hey, you got a cell phone on you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do I need a secret talking device, like so I whisper into my watch, and no, you have a cell phone. So
No
you
one's
know what I
gonna
mean?
question
Like,
you.
so
Yeah.
like whenever they kind of like try and put things in the modern era, you kind of lose like a lot of the things of like gadgets and stuff because it's like, yeah, gadget.
See, the next thing is like even certain things like having earpieces and you're talking to yourself in the modern era would be like, if you were wearing a pair of glasses, they'd be like, it could be one of those like Google glasses sort of things, and it'd be okay. But if you're not wearing glasses and you literally just have nothing on your face or around your neck, you'd be like, why is that guy talking to himself?
So, why's that guy talking to me? Well, actually, you know what though? I would say that's less weird now.
No, the
because
watch.
Everyone's
Yeah.
got the
Yeah, 'cause
Yo Siri. Like back in the like 60s. Why is that guy talking into his watch? Maybe he's just insane.
so that is the five.
But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's like,
of course.
like, yeah, like even the 80s and 90s were a little bit better for it because, like, you know, cell phones are the kind of one of the worst things that happen to telling a good story, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, you know, well, let's take any horror movie for example.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's being murdered. Hang on, let me just. Oh yeah, it turns out that every 30 years people just disappear at this camp. Ah,
Why
damn.
are we here?
You know, like cell phones have where you've got access to like all the internet and all the information. It's sort of like, there it is. That's what's happened. But you know, at the same time, it's like, so you've either got to come up with a good reason as to
then the
why
next thing
they're
is
not.
if they already
working.
know the whole like every 30 years people just disappear at this camp, why is the camp not shut down every 30 years?
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know,
makes sense.
like having cell phones solves so many issues that people have in movies because it's like, we don't know what's happening. Hey, let me just Google. Oh, it turns out this has happened before and shit like that.
It's happened before. 6 times? Oh, why are we here?
Exactly. Whereas like, and so they're like, okay, we're gonna come up with a way to get rid of the cell phones. And usually that's something like, everyone put your cell phones in this bag.
Yeah.
Or, oh no, there's no signal here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, let's be real, let's be fair, let's be true. Like, oh, there's no signal here. Okay. But like up at the road, there's signal. Yeah. Okay, so, oh no, something's gone wrong. Let's just go up to the road.
Yeah.
And like, so there is ways to tell stories with cell phones, but it's like, yeah.
That's true.
If you either have to kind of be like, here's the reason why they can't use their cell phones, or they do have cell phones, and this is just not going to work. You know, it's like, oh, they have their cell phones and they're doing everything right. It's just not going to help them much. Yeah. But the modern era kind of makes a lot of stories that we like to tell kind of harder.
True.
Especially don't get me wrong, I love the Hitman games, but like you would think, right?
Yeah.
With all of these people who are dying and the fact that cell phones are so prevalent, someone would notice that at all these points where these influential people are dying, there does seem to be a large bald man at every single one of them.
Seems to be a large bald man with barcode on the back of his head at every single one of them.
And he was here when this person died, and he was here when this person died. And look, like you might not get the picture from like the like everything. It's like, oh, but we destroyed the security cameras. What about just all the other cameras that are happening?
Especially that one where there's a fashion show going on. Yeah. All the other cameras. Legitimately, all the other cameras.
Yeah. And in that one, you can even walk on the red carpet, meaning literally people are taking pictures of you.
Yes.
But yes.
That's gold.
Yeah, the modern world is kind of a little bit of a danger for storytelling. And like, especially with James Bond, which is all about the gadgets, and like they've already shown that there will be like stuff in cars, so there's a lot to look forward to in that game. Will it be a good James Bond game? Again, I don't know, but I'm very confident it will be a good spy game, and we haven't really had a good spy game since they stopped making Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
So, and even that wasn't fully a spy game. It was more of a stealth action game. Very much like the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah. Guys, then on Friday we have the podcast. If you're watching this, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
If you're not watching this, then, well, you don't know that we're talking to you, so whatever. And then this week we do have Minecraft. And guys, It is Sky Factory, and it is a solo one because we've run into a problem. And that problem is that we kind of need to start...
Progressing.
No, what's the term? Automating.
Oh, yeah.
Automating the trees. And to do that, we need a tree automation area, or a place to hold the trees.
Yes.
I want to call it an arbory, but I might be wrong.
Fair enough.
And so to do that kind of stuff, it's way more efficient of our time for me to just go in and do that. Like, go in and start putting down the building. Now, as I've said to Kris, this building's going to be massive, because there's something like 50 tree types.
Yeah, I think it's near what I put down last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way that I've kind of planned this out is each tree type's going to have its own little nook. And so there's going to be 50 nooks. Now that's divided by 2 because either side of a hallway.
Yeah.
But that means there's going to be 25 nooks per side.
Yeah.
I've put in 3 and it's something like 30 blocks.
God damn it.
So what I've done is I've built an area to get to the tree nook.
Yeah.
Or the arbory. I know what I want it to look like in the end. I don't have the resources to build it yet, but once the trees start being automated, we will have those resources available. But what I've done is I've laid the groundwork so that Kris can see what it is, and he can kind of lay more of the groundwork and as we progress. But setting up the trees is what's first. So like automating trees in there and getting stuff in, and obviously when we go back in together, I'll give Kris the quick rundown of how the design's going to look in there so that he can set that up. But what I did was, the main thing was laying it out and having a spot started for it and having that layout design done. And part of the thing with this Sky Factory is that once we get like the trees all set up, we're kind of free to do whatever we want, because like once we have those resources coming in and we're not literally scrabbling for every little thing.
Yes.
So bad. Like at the moment right now, if we need stone, we're perfectly good. Like the stone is being made at such a rate that it's laughable that we ever had issues with stone.
Yeah.
Wood, again, not really an issue because we get so much of it.
Yeah.
So those 2 materials are taken care of. Like we don't have to worry about them. You need it, it's just like, oh, go and grab a couple of stacks of it. Yeah. Off you go. Things like iron or coal or just other things we need. It's like, how much we got? We got 2.
We could make 5.
We got 2. I did make a few mistakes. So I was supposed to make dirt at one point, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm just like, and I've and I've made iron amber. Because I'm uncultured and I didn't read, I just grabbed the first brown acorns and resin that I saw and just put it all together and went, there's my dirt. No, that's not dirt. So I did accidentally make some iron that I wasn't planning to. But other than that, I managed to get everything set up, and now we can actually progress, and Kris has the area that he can start moving trees and making, now that we have the ability to make automated hoppers, bonsais.
Yes.
We can now do that.
Yes.
So, it's not going to be everything all at once, but it is like, oh, we can set up this one. Okay, now that that's operating by itself, I can focus on doing this and doing that, and everything's all kind of set up. The other big thing is like, the way I build my Sky Factory world is I kind of have a central point and then hubs coming off it. And part of that this time that we haven't ever really done before is sort of like what we've done in the normal Minecraft, which is I would like to build like bases for ourselves. So like,
and we started doing it last time.
I think so, but so like I like to build buildings for all of my stuff, like because I think that's kind of cool. Like it's nice to be like, oh, I need this, I'm going to this building because that's where it is.
Yes.
The other thing is, I would like to be like, oh well, Kris has stuff that he goes and collects, and his trophies and everything that he gets and stuff. Well, he needs a place to keep that, so he needs to build himself a house. And so one of my plans is to this time, because we have this server which we can just keep forever if we want to, and play Sky Factory whenever we feel like it.
Yeah.
That Kris can also like build a base in there or a house or whatever for himself, and he can put that, he can put that near the trees if he wants, because that's his project, or he can put it maybe on the path that teleports us out to different worlds because he wants to go exploring or whatever. But
that's what happened.
Exactly, that's going to be like the goal. So as we get further and further, we will see more building, but it'll be like, me doing factories and making my own base, Kris making his own base when he's not off exploring or doing whatever. But before any of that can happen, we really have to get these trees automated so that we actually have resources to do stuff.
That sounds right.
Because that's the goal. But yeah, so that the first Minecraft Sky Factory build will be coming out on Saturday, and I've been editing it, and let me say, I get annoyed a lot.
I'm not surprised.
It's little things, like I'm making coal at one point, and I'm like, okay, and how much coal did I got 9 coal. Motherfucker.
And you don't get much.
It's like stuff like that, but yeah, guys, check that one out. It should be good, and kind of give you an idea of how our Sky Factory is going to progress and be slightly different to probably things you've seen in the past. Because as I said, for me, whenever I build, there has to be some level of aesthetic to it. I'm not someone who's just like, okay, build a big slab and then put everything on top of it, and it's a mess, but yeah, just go. Like, no, it's gotta have a feel. It's gotta feel right, Anyway, but that's Sky Factory, so check that one out. I think that just about wraps up channel news. Kris, subscriber count
349. We have gone up after a few weeks.
We've we were sitting there for a little bit, and then like over the last like 2 days, we've just
nice.
It's been like literally a couple days ago we were still at the same number.
Yeah.
I do my magic, put out some shorts, and we jumped a bit. People have been. We're almost at 350.
Yeah.
We might be there by the time you're watching this, because obviously we film this in advance to when it comes out.
Maybe you're the one that's going to push us over to 350.
Maybe that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So that just about wraps up channel news. So on to the week that has been.
Indeed.
So I'm going to start off because I have a idea for what I want to talk about. Because let me tell you, it's been a week, Kris.
Check it about.
But before that, I want to tell a story from my life, Kris. A story from my life. So obviously, a couple of weeks ago, I got pretty badly sunburned. I say pretty badly sunburned. It was annoyingly. It wasn't. Kris, what is a bad sunburn? Like when someone says I got pretty badly sunburned, what pops into your mind?
It's like bright red, peeling.
Yeah. So
maybe and worst case blistering.
Okay, so
I have seen that before.
I wasn't at blistering. Like when I say like pretty badly sunburned, I'm like, I was red for like 2 days and like stinging for 2 days, and then like went into full peel.
So my thing is, I never tend to get the stinging, which is the weirdest thing, because I still have a red line here.
Yeah, no.
From when I was in Brisbane.
Yeah, no, the stinging
which is over nearly 2 weeks ago is when I would have gotten that sunburn, and it is still red. It has been peeling already.
Yeah, no, I've been peeling for like the last week, and it's like you can still see bits and pieces, like you can see up here where it's like on my lines. But so I had the stinging for 2 days, and then pretty much like as soon as the sting stopped, it was like peel. Like it was just losing all of the skin.
Oh, yeah.
And all over wherever I was sunburned. And I whenever people blister, I'm like, oh no, you're not really badly sunburned. You are drastically, like you are devastatingly sunburned. Why did you stay outside? But anyway, the point is, I was pretty badly sunburned. I was quite red.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the tan phase. I just went straight to your skin is falling off now. So
I mean, I got the tanning most places. Again, just on my leg where it's pure white normally, bright red, peeling. That's it.
But anyway, the point is that I got sunburn, and like the other day, I was like, oh, there's a little bump on my arm, and me being me, I went, that's a little bit painful, that bump. Wonder what it is. So I grabbed the knife and I poked it.
Fucking idiot.
And I was like, and then I was like, oh, and it made me bleed a little bit. There's still a lump there, so I poked it. and now I have a hole in my arm.
Again, I know the feeling.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I just went.
Except I never grab a knife. I just pick at it until I've ripped it off.
Yeah, no, I was 100% just in there being like, oh, it's like a lump on my arm. Get the knife run over. I'm like, yeah, there is a lump there. Anyway, so yes, self-surgery. Apparently, I can do it.
It's not a great idea.
No, it's not. No, but yeah, no. I just thought that was a funny one because I know that you tend to think that way of me. You're like, oh, Darcy's got a knife. He's probably stabbed. Yes, he did. Actually. But yeah, that's about all. Yeah. That's other than like standard week shit. That's all that's happened to me this week.
Yeah.
But that's not all that's happened this week, guys.
That's true.
There's a still thing happening, Kris. I don't know if you know much about it. It's called the Winter Olympics. And let me tell you, I love the Winter Olympics. I love all the sports.
Yeah.
I love figure skating, ice hockey, snowboarding. Not like the snowboarding they actually do in the Olympics. I don't want to do that. I'm not like, hey, yo, let's take some gnarly fucking half pipes because I know that if I try, I would like break my fucking neck. And I'd be like, it's like, why did I think this was a good idea? I was already going downhill, and I was like, you know what I could do? I could go down the hill and then up a hill and then jump and then go continue. No, I will die. No. But I do like snowboarding and skiing. Yeah. I like all of it.
Yeah.
What I don't really like is how a lot of it is points based.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just put it this way. I was watching something, right? A medalist match. So, and the person completely fucked up. Like they just didn't do it right.
Yeah.
And somehow a judge, like all the other judges gave them 0s, but one judge gave them 5, and the guy that did everything perfectly, that same judge gave him a 0, and I was just like,
hang on a second.
Judging seems a little bit corrupt, doesn't it?
From that guy, yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah, so there's that, and so basically, that's the part I don't like. Like, and let me tell you, like, there's a lot about the Winter Olympics. Like, when I say to people, oh, dude, have you ever watched the figure skating? They're like, why would I watch the figure skating? It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe because fucking strapping knives to your feet and then literally lifting up another human whilst traveling with knives on your feet and they have knives on their feet is pretty fucking sick. Okay?
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous. It's
Also, something that, probably if you've never watched figure skating, you'll never know, but I've watched a lot of figure skating, and let me tell you, the girls put their blades into the guy's legs. Like, he'll be sitting there, and she'll put her foot on his leg, inches from his penis.
Yes.
And then he'll lock her in and start spinning, and I'm like, dude, ironically, that takes balls. Because you could lose those balls very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
Those things are fucking sharp.
Oh,
and of course, ice hockey is just fucking hilariously fun to watch. Even if you have no idea what's going on, you're just like, hit the guy, boom, hey, hit him, good.
That's pretty much it.
When you do know what's going on, you're like, hit the guy, yes, he hit him, excellent, that was a smart, strategical move.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
It's also one of those few sports that, like, if you were ever to say to me, hey, Darcy, you like ice hockey, do you want to play it? I'd be like, no, because I've seen all the things where, like, someone slips over and, like, their legs go up and a guy's like, oh, I've just got my throat slit by that guy.
Yeah.
Because, again, strapping knives to your feet.
It's a thing.
But, all of that aside, a sport that I do enjoy, because I'm a weirdo, has finally made the world headline.
Okay.
Curling. Now,
Yeah.
let me start by saying why I love curling. Any sport where you can be a professional in it and your only ability is I'm really good at fucking sweeping.
Yeah.
That's a sport I can get behind.
It's fucking great.
I think we should do it. We'll go down to Coles, clean out their fucking frozen pea section.
Yeah.
And you and Jordan can be my sweepers and I'll just push a rock along. I'll be like, yeah.
And it's and the start of it, and it's so funny because the start of it is like so delicate.
Yeah.
It's just like letting it go, and then
the sweeper's
it's frantic.
I know how to use a broom. I've got this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
It's too depending on what side you're on. Depends on how frantic you're gonna be.
Exactly. It's like, but you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I think you and Jordan, I've seen the two of you. I think you could use a broom. And me, I reckon I could get that slide perfect. You know, the one where you're like practically sliding on your testicles? Yeah, I think I could do that.
You probably.
But what I love the most about this year is that curling has finally got the world thing. Not because of a good thing, it's because of the cheating scandal.
Yeah, of course.
But for the first time ever, everyone's looking at three sort of athletic people
Yeah.
who are pushing a rock along the ground and being like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Sort of like lawn bowls in the normal Olympics. No one watches that, but you should watch lawn bowls in the normal Olympic. It's hilariously funny because, like, you've seen lawn bowls before. It's what all the old people do. Where you get a bunch of, like, 18 and 20-year-olds being like, yeah, we're the lawn bowls team. Let's do this. And you're like, Jesus, fuck, how? It's the one sport at the Olympics where you're like, there should be no age limit to this.
There shouldn't be. There really shouldn't be.
But I love it. I love it so much because I do.
Yeah.
I like those sports where it's like a little bit just not stupid, but they're not mainstream. No one's ever going to sit down and actually be like, yeah, I'm going to go watch some curling. You might if you're Canadian, but you know,
Yeah.
your whole country's being brought to shame at the moment.
Oh God. I haven't looked at any of the scores or anything. Oh God.
Oh, dude, it's you know. It was very funny because they were accused of cheating. The Canadian guy's like, "We're not fucking cheating. Fuck you. Fuck." He just went off. He was swearing like a sailor, which was very un-Canadian of him.
Yeah.
And then the footage came out, and he's definitely cheating. I was like, bro, if you're caught cheating, don't go.
What was he doing?
So he was letting go of the handle.
Yeah.
And then like touching the actual stone of the rock. So
yeah.
the rule, I don't know the rules of curling all that well, but the rule is you've got to let go of the handle before the line.
Oh yes.
I can't. It's one of those rules where I'm like, is it before the line or is it before the line ends? You know, like kind of like the what do they call them on a field? Where it's like sometimes on the field where you've got the border lines.
Yeah.
If you touch the line, if the ball touches the line, it's out. But sometimes it's got to go over the line before it's out. So you know, in soccer, how it has to go over the line, but in everything else, if it touches, I don't know what kind of minutia is there. It's like you got to let go of it before it crosses the line, or you've got to let go of it before it touches the line. I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
He wasn't doing that. Like, they're like, look, he's letting go of it before the line. It's fine. The rule that he was breaking is you're not allowed to touch the stone.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to touch the handle. And he was letting go and he was just putting his fingers on the stone. And everyone, you might be like, what does that do? Well, he can put a little bit of spin on it.
That is true, yeah.
It's not supposed to be allowed to do that. It's just supposed to put the handle and then put the spin on it from the handle, and then the sweepers have got to do their fucking job.
Yeah.
Which is sweeping ice, which is fucking hilarious. No, but it gets better than that because I also know a little bit extra about curling.
Okay.
Right? Because I find it interesting. All curling stones come from Scotland
Makes sense.
because they go to an island, and that's where all of the granite comes from.
Fair.
And so every couple of years they go to this island, grab a bunch of granite, bring it back, and make a bunch of curling stones. How often do you need to replace curling stones? I ain't got no idea, but I can imagine they shatter because if you've actually watched the sport,
Yeah.
sometimes they're just like, hit it as hard as you can, boom, and then
That
it
is
just
true,
goes, I've never seen one shatter, but I'd imagine if it did shatter in that situation, it would be spectacular. The other thing I know is that you have to wear one grippy shoe and one slidey shoe.
Okay.
So as a sweeper, only one of your shoes has grip. That would be so easy as a learner for you to go tits up.
That is true, yeah.
But yeah, no. Curling scandal.
It's extraordinary. It's very rare
Oh, damn.
that they shatter.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I guess they are made of, like, solid granite, but still.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't expect them to break
It's
that
cold
easily.
granite. They're on ice.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So the curling scandal has taken the world by storm.
Yeah.
But I guess it kind of, like, brings up the thing that I actually wanted to talk about with the Olympics, which is that I much prefer the Winter Olympics to the Summer Olympics.
I agree.
Again, purely because running, I do that when I'm late for something.
Yeah.
Strapping knives to my feet, I never do that.
Because he knows it's dangerous, and he wants to. He really wants
I
to.
could, but then the police might have some words to say to me.
Yeah, because it's not really any place around here that would make sense to be strapping knives to you.
If I didn't have knives strapped to your feet, I'm going to the goat.
Going to the coach. That doesn't answer the question. It's like, what if someone attacks me?
Exactly. But yeah, like, so, like, because of where we live, the Summer Olympics is like, yeah, we do that stuff all the time. But the Winter Olympics is like, oh man, we never get to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I suppose if you live, like, in a place like Finland where it is mostly winter,
Yeah.
then the Winter Olympics is sort of like, yeah, like, we do this all the time.
Yeah.
Swimming, now that's impressive.
Yeah, true, man.
But no, like, so I like the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics, but I also kind of feel like, what the fuck is the point of the Olympics these days? Barely anyone watches it because it's really not that entertaining.
I honestly didn't even realize it was on until the other day.
Barely anyone watches it. Everyone competing in it has other tournaments and stuff they compete in that are actually generally better.
True.
And it just costs so much fucking money to do an Olympics. Like, it's astronomical.
I mean, it gives a lot of jobs going. It gets a lot of jobs going, but that's only for a period of time.
So it actually doesn't. It generally, I think over the last, like, 20 years or something, since Athens 2004, pretty much every Olympics has kind of ruined the economy of the place that's held it.
Yeah.
And everything that they build for it falls into disrepair. And
yeah, because they stopped using it.
Yeah.
They're like, we built it for this one purpose. We're never going to use it again, because if it ever comes back to this country, we're going to do it somewhere else.
Or have to just rebuild everything, because it's like, you're not getting them 2 years in a row. You can't do 2 sets in a row.
So ours was in Sydney, but they're looking at doing the next one somewhere else.
So the 2000 was in Sydney. Mm-hmm. The one we held before was in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. Then the 2032 games are to be held in Brisbane. Now, here's the funny thing about that, because I know a lot about this. They're not going to hold them in Brisbane. They're going to hold them all over Queensland, which is fucking retarded.
Of course.
But they're like, oh no, this way we spread out all the stuff all over Queensland. I'm like, that sounds smart, doesn't it? Until you realise that people are coming here, and when you get tickets for the Olympics, you can't be like, it's a lottery.
Yeah.
So you get given a ticket, and you might be like, you're going to see the equestrian. And you're like, oh, cool. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Or you might be like, you're going to see the basketball. So you might have 3 different tickets.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, you're seeing the basketball. Well, basketball's in Townsville.
Yo.
And the next day, you're seeing the swimming. Swimming's in Brisbane. Good for you. You now get to travel all up and down. No, this is why it's always been in one place. Secondly, for the athletes, it's better if it's all in one place, because then they can do things like, I don't know, show up to the opening ceremony. So we held the Commonwealth Games, which is nowhere near as big as the Olympics because it only involves the Commonwealth.
Yes.
And they did that. They played it all up and down Queensland. And the athletes were not happy because they didn't get to do things like go to the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Or, you know, be in the city where everything was going on because, oh, well, you're playing basketball? Oh, you're up here. Cool. But we have friends and stuff who are competing down in Brisbane. Oh, well, yeah, but once you finish playing... No, you've got to have it all in one city. And to be like, oh, we're going to play up and... No. It's not good for the tourism. It's not good for the thing. You've got to have it all in one city. Yeah. But as I said, like...
Well, let's face it. You do that, then they're probably thinking along the lines of, yeah, but then it spreads the load and the money around Queensland. It's like, well, that's not how Queensland tends to work. All the money goes back to Brisbane anyway, so fucking who cares?
As I said, it actually doesn't work anyway, because, like, okay, let's say for shits and gigs, they were like, there's going to be an event in Rockhampton.
I think there was brief talk of that.
I think they're still planning on doing the rowing.
Dumb.
Okay.
Fucking stupid.
We're going to do the rowing here. Okay, Rockhampton now needs to upgrade its infrastructure to be able to cope with Olympic level crowds. Yep. So we have to spend all this money to get that ready. As I said to you before, those crowds might have one day here before they're supposed to be at another game. Because again, you don't really get to say, oh, I'm going to watch all of the rowing. You get given a ticket. Yeah. And then if your next ticket is for something else, you're leaving. So we've got to do all this spending. And let's be real. Even if you did come here and you didn't have to shoot off tomorrow to go see your next ticket somewhere else in Queensland, which again would be ridiculous because the only way to do it is to fly, and it costs fuck tons of money to fly around in Australia. It does. The Europeans will not be happy coming here and being told, oh, so you've got to fly from Brisbane to Townsville. So that's going to take you most of the fucking day. Yeah. Because you'll be sitting around so fucking much. Yeah. Like, this is the thing. It's got to be in one city so you can hop on trains and stuff. Yes. You've got to fly from Brisbane to Townsville. Even if they put on, like, express stuff where you can quickly move around for the Olympics, you've got to fly from there. And that's going to cost you, about $300. And they go, excuse me, I can fly from my country to a country halfway across Europe for $80. And they're going to be like, that's not Australia. No. So people are going to not be happy with that. And like, okay, as I said, let's say that you've got the rowing. You're in Rockhampton. You're watching the rowing. You don't have to be back in Brisbane tomorrow, but you got to get back there for your thing.
You get back there for your flights anyway.
Are you going to stay? Are you going to stay here? Are you going to go to the goat? Where people strap knives to their feet? No, you're gonna go like you're gonna get a taste of what we call classic Rockhampton. And you're gonna be like,
I'm leaving.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I really don't. There's a reason why when we have the Olympics in a place like, I can't remember where the last ones were, Paris. Yeah. They were in Paris. They weren't in buttfuck tiny French village middle of nowhere where everyone smells like cheese. Sorry, French people, you know it's true. But
okay.
But it wasn't there. It was in Paris.
Yeah.
The city. And it wasn't great, but it was there.
Yeah.
Not, oh well you'll be traveling all over fucking France. Good luck.
Yeah, no, that's a rough one.
Now obviously there's always
there are always isn't as bad as traveling all over Queensland.
Well, there's always like little bits that need to be like adjusted. Yeah. So like Paris is not a city on the sea.
No.
So when they do the sailing, they have to be like, oh well, we're going to this place because that's where the sea is.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it don't bend to our will.
And then the fun part about doing anything like that in Queensland is, what if it's the reef? So you've got to go to a more specific spot.
You definitely can't go to what I would love though? I would love the surfing at Surfers Paradise. It won't happen but I would love it because Surfers Paradise is shit surfing.
It is. It is.
The other thing that I think would actually be funny,
Yeah.
like this would be the only thing that I would ever support Queensland making another bid, because we did the Commonwealth Games. That was terrible. You know why it was terrible? Because they built all of these things for all of these different sports and then tore them all down. And then, almost less than 20 years later, it's like, oh man, having all of those stadiums and stuff would have been really good, because
we could have just done repairs instead of having to build it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we've done the Olympics. So the only thing that I would actually support, I really think we should cancel the Olympics and be like, no, we don't want it, and just take that cost and not have to build all of these stadiums and crap and upgrade our infrastructure, which in Brisbane is fucking shit. Like, Sydney had to build a whole new train line for the Olympics. They put the Olympics in a place that was basically undeveloped.
Yeah.
They put a train line out from 2 major train stations that only went there and still only go there. And that was what they did to try and handle the Olympics.
Yeah.
Right? What is Brisbane going to do? Brisbane is a mess at the moment. Like, it is... It has bridges that go nowhere. Literally. And it's like, we've got to upgrade all of that infrastructure for Olympic. No, that's going to cost us millions and billions of dollars that at the moment we just don't have. And it's like, oh, don't worry, you'll pay for it. So no, I really don't like the idea of us doing the Olympics. The only thing that I would ever get behind is us being like, we'll do the Winter Olympics. Because I think it would be hilarious.
Of course it would be hilarious.
Okay, so there is no snow on this mountain, but that's okay. Strap your skis on and just go. Okay?
We're going to put wheels on them. Is this just rollerblading?
You'll be fine.
With long boards.
You'll be fine. This is your jump. Yes, it is just a pile of dirt, but you'll be fine. Just go for it. But yeah, that would be the only thing that I support. That's it.
Just because of how funny it'll end up being.
Yes. And because I think the Olympic Commission is so corrupt that they wouldn't even look at it and be like, yes, you guys don't have snow, you can't do the Winter Olympics. They'd just be like, oh, you're going to pay money? Yeah, okay, have it. And then they'd be like, oh, this was a disaster. Except it wouldn't be, because I guarantee you it would be the most watched Winter Olympics of all time. Because people would be like, okay, well, hang on, first of all...
Or was it that people were cheering a lot more for the guy repainting the fucking mountain? As it's like, they've landed here, they've broken that line. There's a little bit of cheering. The guy comes out to respray the line. So much cheering.
Yeah. But it'd be like, okay, well, hang on. Because the Winter Olympics always, like, Summer Olympics always takes place in summer of the country that's at.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Winter Olympics always takes place in winter at the country that's at, but it's usually in the Northern Hemisphere. Yes. So it's usually during our summer. So let's just not change that.
Yeah.
So it'd be the first Winter Olympics to ever take place in summer in a place that does not have snow and generally cannot get snow.
Yeah.
And it would also be the most watched Winter Olympics, because everyone would be like, I'm curious to see how this is going to work. Think about the curling scandal, and the stone's gone nowhere.
It went
because asphalt isn't slidey.
It went 5 centimeters.
And they're sweeping, and they've left the stone behind. Shit.
Oh no!
They're just moving dirt around at this point. Yeah, no, that's the only thing I would support.
That's the shoe that slides. Useless.
But yeah, that's it. That's the only Olympic bid that I will support for Queensland. Everything else, the Commonwealth Games, the Olympic Games, don't want them because I just don't think they're worth anything. But the Winter Olympics here, I'll bring it. I'll bring it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
And they're bobsledding and they've crashed into a tree.
Yes.
God, it would be hilarious. But guys, I think that's about it for today. I don't really have anything else to say. We've talked about the big thing, that curling scandal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the un-Canadianness of it all.
Oh yeah.
And
So
I
very
think that just covers it. So
Yep.
thank you for joining us. If you've liked it, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you haven't already, really does mean a lot to us here. You could be the 350th, unless that's already happened, in which case you could be the 351. I know it doesn't sound as impressive, but it is, trust me. If you want to see more from me and Kris, check out the rest of the channel. We play video games. And we also have the podcast where we get together and just chat.
Yes.
And come up with great ideas like a summer-winter Olympics. Trust me, it's golden.
Fantastic. It's more of a laugh than anything else.
Hey, we've got to have some entertainment.
Yeah.
But guys, once again, thank you for joining us. I've been Darcy. That's Kris.
Yes.
And we will catch you next time right here on the channel.
Indeed.
But until then, guys, catch you later.
See ya.
Hello.
Nicely done.
I don't know where that came from.
What do I know?